Philippines Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklar Bro Country, the Virus Edition, aka the Pandy Pods,
aka Two Bros No Garden Hosts.
I go to Huddletron, aka Two Hot Mike Skew Schlock Slights, aka checking the facts while buckling the hacks.
There you go.
It's our guy in New Zealand. He's in Auckland, New Zealand.
He's throwing out the
Hudda man. Thank you for all the AK. He's the AKA man. We love it, guys. We're back. It's been a weekend. You had your wife's birthday, her anniversary. You celebrated both of those.
Yep.
We apologize for any sound issues. Again, we are not engineers.
Yeah, it turns out we're not engineers.
We're bad engineers. We have a great engineer. Our engineer, Brendan, does an unbelievable job on the sound quality for these things. And the video team over at Josh Mickelson and our friends who do the all of our social media clips, they do a really good job digging out the sound. But sometimes we're just not good. If we were in a studio and there was an engineer
and a mic dropped out, they would immediately be like, "Hey, you got to stop! You got to start."
That happened in the last two episodes, and we are sorry, and we will get it right for you moving forward. And that is what we're going to do. Let's jump into a story right now because it has to do with flying. Our good friend Brad Meltzer, fantastic author. I'm reading his book about Lincoln right now. It's unbelievable, about the assassination attempt on Lincoln before he got into office.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. He's an amazing author. He just flew his son up to Michigan, from Florida up to Michigan because he's going to school there. Got to be a crazy time if your kid is starting college right now. But even crazier to get on a plane. He said it was a ghost town in Fort Lauderdale at the airport when he went there. I'm assuming he didn't walk by the Spirit Airlines.
Probably, but we'll get into that.
We'll get into it, but it was a little bit of a ghost town, but I just can't imagine flying right now. I really can't.
No.
And we used to fly all the time, twice a month.
Not all the time. We would fly 2 to 4 times.
2 to 4 flights a month.
Right. And if you ask our families, they would tell you that we were on planes 24 hours a day.
All the time.
31 days
Only
a month.
on planes.
Yes.
It's like the old Annie Hall.
Right. The scene in Annie Hall where they both go to their therapists and it's a split screen and her therapist says to Annie Hall, "How often are you guys having sex?"
She's like, all the time, 3 or 4 days a week.
3 times a week.
3 times a week.
And then his therapist says to him, "How often are you having sex?" He said, hardly ever, 3 times a week. It all depends on how you look at it. It all depends on how you process it. But the truth is, we would be away maybe 8 days in a really, really busy month, or 7 days. 4, 3, 2 days on a really light month of traveling. It was somewhere in the range.
It's a lot. It was a lot for everybody, but it didn't seem like that much to us. But I have
flying
to say,
sucks. I would assume that flying in the pandemic sucks for the anxiety and the fear, but it's probably pretty light in the airport. So
you think, although I've seen a bunch of videos of people on planes and it's packed, that would scare the crap out of me.
So if you put your mindset back to before the pandemic, flying before the pandemic
sucked.
It was hard, okay? Yeah. The lines were long. This was created by 9/11, of course. People treated adults like babies, right?
And you had to at times.
And some people deserve to be treated like babies.
Some people need to be treated like babies.
And because of those few people that deserve to be treated like babies, everyone got treated like a baby. Because when you're an overworked TSA person, you're stuck at the front of the line and you're checking people
You don't have time to decide who's going to be cool and who's not.
So you got to just basically treat everyone like a baby.
So I don't even begrudge those people. We tried to be as nice as we could, and there were moments where they recognized us or they were cool. I love those moments. Those, to me, those moments of humanity when we were traveling were so small but so major. There was like the
so
tiniest
beautiful.
thing. Yeah.
But the thing is that if you take all that away and you realize that, like, you're in a flying machine,
yes,
someone 35,000 feet above the earth, and something could go wrong every time you fly. So that anxiety is somewhere back floating in your brain. With the pandemic, I just don't even know how people are doing it, because now there's a whole other level of, like, it's a matter of life and death. You sit in this thing, you're in an enclosed space
with recycled air coming through.
Keeps coming back through.
This is like what they tell you not to be on around people who may have COVID.
I just read an article about how COVID is passed through aerosols, not aerosol spray cans, but aerosols, being like, it lingers out in the air. What was David Spade's joke?
Forgot his joke.
It lingered so long. What was the joke?
I don't know.
He had
so such a good
when
joke.
he was guest hosting Kimmel. Look, if ever there was a place to be wearing a mask, it's on a plane,
right?
On a flight.
That's right.
When you can't go anywhere. Why? Look, it's why airlines have taken a harder stance against it than almost anywhere else.
They have to take a harder stance.
Their
than
livelihood
most.
depends on it. If people start to get COVID off of flights, then their entire system gets shut down. That's why they got to go even further than most normal places. It's not a restaurant. It's an airline.
So if you're not, because there's nowhere to put you. There's nowhere to kick you off the plane.
Right. If you violate their mask laws, you are not only kicked off the flight, but you are banned from flying their airline. And if it's a Delta Airlines flight, you're going to get dragged down the aisle.
Especially if you're an Asian man.
Well, we've got a story from that very airline that will challenge your allegiances and force you to hold two emotions in your head at one time regarding one person.
We can do this, you guys.
So I feel like since this administration, in the last 3 years, we've decided as a people that we can no longer feel good about feel good about someone because of something they've done in their lives,
and then
also
be mad at
completely mad and disappointed and feel horrible about them. It feels like something we can no
Let's
longer
get
do.
into it.
Okay, here we go. Former Navy SEAL Robert O'Neill, which sounds like a poem.
Former Navy SEAL
Robert O'Neill posted a selfie of himself on a Delta flight last week, and in the photo, he was proudly not wearing a mask.
Former Navy SEAL Robert O'Neill didn't wear a mask, and now he is a heel.
Right. I'm going to guess Spirit Air probably allows you to go maskless.
Spirit Air allows you to go pantless.
I'm guessing Spirit Air still allows smoking on their flights. I haven't been on one, but I'm guessing that's
Spirit Air allows you to smoke weed on their flights.
When Spirit Air experiences turbulence, oxygen doesn't come down. Hookah pipes come down from the overhead bin. Spirit Air doesn't just have a mile-high club. They encourage it, okay?
They have larger bathrooms so you can have three ways. That's Spirit Air.
Yeah, threesomes. Spirit Air has a ring in the back of the flight for cockfighting.
You can sell your own beer on a Spirit Airlines flight.
Oh, yeah. There are two classifications below coach on a Spirit Air flight.
Corral and holding cell.
Yeah. There's a dog run in some Spirit Air flights because you can just have your dogs running around.
Yeah.
This is Delta. This is Delta. So this guy, Robert O'Neill, the former Navy SEAL, however, was not on a Spirit Air flight, Delta flight. So he was breaking policy, which they very clearly state.
You got to wear a mask.
By not wearing the mask. And then he flaunted it, of course, by posting it on social media. And his post was pretty much, in my opinion, like an F
so
you
so
to
here's
all the
my
rules.
question, though. Like, did he walk through security? If you're not TSA pre-check, you got to take your shoes off.
Right.
You have to walk through the security thing. So there are things you have to do. What is he not? You can't pick some to do and some not to do.
Right. Well, so I think
flaunting it on social media.
His decision to put out there the fact that he's not wearing a mask is an FU to all the rules.
Sure.
And then he, of course, in that moment, reminded everyone that he was the one who shot bin Laden.
He had to. He does all the time.
Right. He wrote, quote, "Thank God it wasn't at Delta flying us in when we killed bin Laden. We weren't wearing masks." Thank you for reminding us that you killed bin Laden.
We needed that. It's something that I'm sure he's been reminding people since 2014.
Yes. So 2011. Didn't it happen in 2011? I think it did.
He maybe took a few years off.
Yeah. Oh, right. That's right. Well, we would appreciate it if you did it, but like you have to let your dry cleaner know that you've done it every time you pick up the shirts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
they've already heard that
we know the story. Everyone
Thanks
knows
for doing my shirts. You know I killed bin Laden. Yeah, we know. Everybody knows.
But here's the interesting thing, Rand. Nobody since his parade of letting people know that he killed bin Laden, that he was the one who shot him, no one else has backed him up from the Navy SEALs.
Right.
Since he made that claim.
Maybe you aren't supposed to tell people that you're
okay. So that either means one of two things. You're not supposed to share. A loose lips sink ships, and even if it's already in the past, we don't talk about that.
Why are we talking about it
Maybe
now?
there's a code he's violating.
Also, can't you just be happy that you did it? You now need the credit for it?
Why wouldn't someone else be like, yeah, he did do that? Like, why wouldn't... If you're allowed to talk about it and you're allowed to brag about it and make a big deal out of it, which, by the way, if I killed bin Laden, I would tell a lot of people about it. I would make a big deal out of it.
I don't know if I'd incorporate it with every tweet.
No, but it is interesting because you go back to the old Walter Payton quote.
If you're good, you tell people. If you're great,
they tell you. So you are great for doing that. We can't stress how much we appreciate you. This guy was definitely part of SEAL Team 6.
And we are grateful for you, and we are grateful. Couldn't be more thankful or reverent for what you did, and that is the truth.
I'm going to say this right now. You should never have to pay for a beer for the rest of your life.
You should have parades in your hometown in your honor.
The town you grew up in should have a parade for you every year. I should make a day for you every year.
I want you to sell 1 million copies of the book that you wrote about how you did it.
You should be able to fudge some of the facts, like whether or not you shot the guy, which we don't know.
We don't know. You should be able to bring it up as much as you want.
You still have to wear a mask on a plane.
That's right. That's
non-negotiable. The fact that you may have shot bin Laden doesn't mean that now you're immune to the coronavirus. Had you shot bin Laden, does that mean now that you can't get corona? Like you have the antibodies?
Yeah, you got rid of a body. You don't have the antibodies. That's those are two different things, bro.
Even if you don't have the antibodies, like even if you are fine, even if you don't have the virus, you still have to wear a mask.
Yeah, someone else could give it to you. And even if you don't fully get it, you could pass it on to someone else in your family.
Don't you want to be careful? No. Don't you want to even if it's not.
You use the precision that you use to go and kill bin Laden, because if I'm correct, and correct me if I'm wrong here, you were the person who killed bin Laden.
I'm not sure if he's mentioned it yet, but if you
I wish he would just mention it once in a while.
How does that precision not carry over to the rest of your life?
I don't know.
You nailed it. You crushed it. You crushed a guy.
Obviously, there weren't masks when you killed bin Laden. We weren't in a pandemic back then.
And Delta didn't have this policy back then.
So even if you would have flown Delta in 2000,
they wouldn't have made you wear masks.
And why would you have flown Delta to go
a commercial jet? Does it land right next to the cave and then you go in off
I feel like that might be too loud.
That would have given away your position. Again, you got it wrong. Of course, the original post was deleted. Of course. Whenever someone realizes they're wrong, they
always a sign that someone realizes that.
Yeah, but because if you felt like you were right about it and people were
double down, dig in.
It's your right. You killed bin Laden. And again, I cannot stress how much we are grateful for the work that you did.
We are so thankful.
Being involved in SEAL Team 6, killing bin Laden.
Yes, it sucks to wear a mask. It sucks to wear a mask.
It sucks to wear a mask on a plane for hours and hours. I can't even imagine it. We haven't done it yet.
It's uncomfortable. It's why people are like, I don't want to fly right now.
I dread it, but it's not. Okay, let's settle this right now. It is not someone taking away your freedom.
It's uncomfortable. It's not someone taking away your freedom.
If someone asks you to follow a safety precaution so you don't get hurt or you don't hurt someone else, get on a plane. When your seat back goes like this, and that's all the way reclined.
2 inches.
Here it is straight up.
Here it is.
Isn't this someone's old joke? Here it is reclined. That might have been even Ellen's old joke. Okay. Straight back, all the way back, reclined, straight up. So when a flight attendant comes over and is like, hey, you got to put that you got to get that thing up for the flight. Is this like 36 centimeters that you've gone back? Does that mean you're going to die if the plane has a sudden jump?
No.
But the tray table, we all have reflexes enough that we're not going to impale ourselves on the tray table. If we feel some turbulence, we can probably put it back up. They tell you to put it all up as a precaution.
Just to be safe.
And we all do it. And we've all been doing it. We're not fighting it. We're not saying, oh, Delta, you're taking away our freedoms because you're not letting me recline 36
You're taking away my freedom to be on my laptop for the last 25 minutes of this flight. Yeah, because it's a safety precaution.
That's what you got to do. There's probably a 1 in a million chance that your down tray table is going to
impale you.
Right. But you don't see us posting pics on social media with our chair back 36 centimeters.
Being like, ha, you can't stop us.
Can't take away my freedoms. Nice try, Delta.
We made a joke about bin Laden when he died.
It's the same thing with the mask. I don't get this. Taking away your freedoms is saying you can't fly on this plane because you're black. Or
you can't sit in first class because you're a Jew.
That would be taking away your freedoms. And maybe they do that on Spirit Air. I don't know. I haven't flown Spirit Air. But if you don't follow the rules, then a business can ban you. It's as simple as that.
And the fact that this guy can't understand it and he may or may not have killed bin Laden, those are like...
So again, we cannot stress how much we're grateful for you taking care of bin Laden. We appreciate you to the nth degree.
But
right
put a
now,
mask on.
Put a mask on. You're being a dummy.
What you're showing us is even if you kill bin Laden, you have to wear a mask.
Right? Even if you kill bin Laden, that doesn't make you immune from the coronavirus or being a D-bag sometimes. That's it. That's all. We can hold both thoughts in our heads. We can be so reverent to what you've done, but at the same time, disappointed in who you are.
All right, there's the first story. Down in the books.
There you go.
When we come back, it's a new look at an old gesture. A gesture that we thought to be a gesture of love.
Correct.
But it has now been weaponized, and you want to stick around to hear it. This is Sklar Country, the Virus Edition. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Want to mention, as always, top of the second act, story. We always like to tell you of future shows we have coming up. We're about 300 tickets sold. so far.
Getting very close to 300.
Very close to 300 for
That's
this.
before September starts. So then
For
there's
this Birbiglia, Mike Doty show live, Dumb People Town, live from here.
It's like we can tell
Nowhere Comedy Club.
Nowhere Comedy Club. We can tell if something's going to sell out by sort of where it is along the way. 4 weeks out, if it's, over halfway sold out, it's going to sell out.
I think there are only like 12 or 14
VIP
tickets for the after the show that are done. And I think there's maybe a bunch from before
25, 30.
But the after show is the VIP tickets are almost all sold out. So get your tickets right now. Go to eventbrite.com, look up Live Dumb People Town, September 26th. We will see you there.
Okay.
All right, let's jump into this right now.
Let's do
it. Just something about Jay and I. We're people who love to give hugs.
I love
giving hugs.
Love
I can't. Our buddy Brad Williams said, "I can't wait for this all to be over." We were texting the three of us, and he's like, "Just so I can hug my friends." And I was like,
"Yeah,
oh
dude.
my God, yes,
yes."
We've been living this life, and we crave that. We'd go to the Comedy Store,
it's hugs and handshakes all the way around.
Handshakes all around. These are the people that we work with, that we love. That's the beauty of the community that we're in, and especially when we see close friends and I'm not related to work. It is hugs and handshakes all around. Friends, family, fans, we love it. Okay, we hug our fans. That's the way we are.
Yeah,
we're just those dudes who believe that physical connection, but not now. All right, it's just like a piggyback ride is
usually fun.
It ends with two people who know each other, usually falling down on each other in like a heap.
Right,
like
of
a
joy and
hilarious heap
of joy and laughter,
cracking up. It's fun.
But if you don't know the person who jumps on your back,
and suddenly you got a person on your back like an unwanted backpack full of rocks,
then you're like, "This is a disaster."
Get this person out. They've invaded my personal space, and it's wrong.
It's a violation, is what it is.
Right, and so we have to re-examine what we know about to be true about piggyback rides and what they mean.
It's ruining a time-honored tradition that you love.
Same with hugs. We hug people to show them that we love them.
Yes.
That's it. A hug is one of the most, I think, genuinely sweet gestures out there.
Yeah.
Even people who don't like to be kissed. And there are those people who you go to give them a kiss and they turn their cheek. Okay, fine. Even people who don't like to be kissed, they'll take a hug.
A hug is solid.
They're cool with that.
Yeah.
But when someone uses it as a weapon,
that's not good.
Who is weaponizing hugs?
So there should be a war on weaponized hugs.
Look, I would say drugs, not hugs in this instance.
Yeah.
Springfield, Massachusetts. Police are seeking the public's help in identifying a man who has repeatedly been hugging strangers in Wal-Mart and then telling them that he has given them COVID-19.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
You get a hug from a person who's also wearing a mask, by the way. I saw a picture of this guy, which is confusing.
That he's so willingly trying to spread the disease.
But you think he's being nice. He's wearing a mask, so he draws you into trusting him, and then boom, lowers it, right?
Pulls the rug right out from under you.
Pulls the hug right out from under you.
Thank you for saying that.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody.
It's particularly cruel, okay? It's like baking a beautiful pie for someone.
And then telling them there's X-Lax in it.
It's filled with X-Lax,
Yeah.
according to the police. The unidentified man walked up to a man in the Boston Road store. I love that there's just like a Boston Road in Massachusetts. Where you going? We're going to Boston Road.
Boston Road.
Going to Boston Road.
Going to Springfield,
Going
Mass.
to the Wal-Mart on Boston Road.
All right.
Took an item from the man's hands.
Oh, boy.
And then gave him a hug. And he's going for it. The second he takes your item, you run.
I walk away.
I run.
Person I don't know takes my
gone.
Walk.
Gone. First of all, you didn't pay for that item. You don't need it.
Right.
Go to a different Walmart. Okay. You don't need that in your hand. Run like the
Not
wind.
like he took it out of your car.
He reportedly told the victim, "Just giving you a COVID hug. You now have COVID." Then he laughed and walked away.
Okay. That's not funny.
Not funny at all. Nobody thinks it's funny but you. And if you're the only, comedy is done for an audience. If you're the only one who thinks it's funny, it's mental masturbation.
Yeah, you're wrong.
And he's even misleading in the first sentence. Just giving you a COVID hug, that's not necessarily, that's just like, could be read as you having a rough day.
Right.
Let me giving just give you a COVID hug.
Pandemic's hurting all of us. I'm trying to give you a hug.
It's particularly cruel because it gets people to let down their guard for a second. Then you hug them and then you tell them you got COVID.
Yeah, it's a trick.
I know that you think you have a construction of a joke there, but
that's not a joke.
You don't. This was reported to have occurred August 15th about 7 p.m. So he'd been day drinking, right?
Oh, yeah. That's the end of some day drinking.
That's a given. The victim.
What do we say? 6 p.m. is the 3 a.m. of day drinking. So 7 p.m., 4 a.m.
The victim, a cancer survivor, was not amused and reported to the police. He said that he'd never seen the man before. So good for you that you took a cancer survivor down a peg.
Right. You scared the hell out of that person.
Get this cancer survivor off her high horse.
Right.
Or his high horse. Someone with a pre-existing condition. Way to go. Now, this guy and everyone he knows his age won't go to a store anymore because they're going to be afraid that guys like you are going to be there.
Right. It only takes one psycho crazy person to ruin an entire
You're
shopping
the
spree.
wild, outlandish reason that people will not have the food that they need. So way to go.
Isn't that where
dummy.
we are? We're the outliers, the weirdos.
Don't go to the store because some weirdos out there hugging people saying they've given them COVID. That's that's what's going to go around their mahjong circle.
Mm-hmm.
The man reportedly repeated this activity with other customers in the store, according to police. Security?
Yeah.
Why don't we hug this dude right into the back of a police car?
Yeah, hug him around the neck.
Police spokesman Ryan Walsh said the police do not consider it a laughing matter.
Yeah, it's not funny.
Once you weaponize COVID and then threaten to do so, that's breaking the law, isn't it?
I think about that old woman who walked over to that other table and coughed in their faces and stuff like that. I'm like, that I don't like watching a person get pushed over, but that's a time where you can push someone down.
It's like joking that you have a bomb on a plane. I know you think,
or that there's a fire in a movie theater. Okay. Pretending that you have COVID when you don't, or
saying you have a bomb on a plane,
or saying there's a fire in a movie theater when there isn't. That's a lawbreaker. You got to go down for that.
You think that's hilarious.
That creates chaos.
But no one else around you is going to laugh, and no one is going to think that that is funny. And if someone does, they deserve to be slapped.
Right.
The man is being sought for assault and battery and making terroristic threats. The charge of assault and battery combines threatening behavior with physical contact. See, you cross both lines.
Solid. I like it.
You know what's funny to me, Jay?
What's
this
that?
Guy's freedom being taken away.
I know.
That's hilarious to me.
That is a good, funny joke.
Or you not being able to post bail. Isn't that a good one?
That would be funny.
You get
also.
in jail because you did this. You were hugging people and telling them that you gave
and
them
then you
COVID.
got to stay in jail.
I know.
And then what if you really got it?
That's so funny.
That would be funny if you really got it.
If you really got it, that would be ironic.
We would all
and
think
hilarious.
that's hilarious. Yeah.
According to Massachusetts state law, anyone who communicates a threat either directly or indirectly, orally or in writing or by any other means,
Thank you.
can be charged with making terroristic threats. You're like a regular Lenny Bruce, right?
Did you say Lenny Bruce?
I'm sorry. Did I say I meant stupid piece of dog crap?
Okay.
Came out wrong.
Fair.
I said Lenny Bruce, but I meant the other thing.
Fair.
Even if the unknown man is not tested positive for COVID-19, saying that he does could constitute a threat. Wall said he would be comparable to making a false bomb threat if the really. See, he said what I said.
Right. Once you make it physical,
Once you start,
it's not funny to begin with.
It's assaulty.
It's assaulty and it's terrifying.
Surveillance footage from the store shows a black or Latino man with short dark hair dressed in gray camouflage shorts, black sneakers, and a black shirt with the words "Arrow" on the front.
AERO
is also wearing a mask. Why was he wearing a mask? Is that
feels
weird?
so weird to me.
Right? He should be maskless.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy part. I'd be like, okay. I'd be okay if he started hugging people at a Walmart on Boston Road and then told me I have COVID if the people he were hugging weren't wearing masks.
Right.
I'd be okay with that.
That is a different thing.
Kind of like a reverse Walmart greeter.
Right.
He wants to see who's not wearing a mask.
Right.
And when he sees that, he's like, is this person not wearing a mask? I'm going to go hug them and tell them that they have COVID.
There you go.
Or who's giving the staff a hard time? I'm going to come over and hug this hard time out
Call
of him.
this guy out. He's like your own security guard.
He goes up and hugs them. So there is taking back the hug in this positive way and then tells them they're going to die of COVID.
There you go.
He's like a modern day Grim Reaper.
Like a fun Grim Reaper.
Look,
Reaper.
we have this idea of what a Grim Reaper is, okay? First of all, it's a he. It's never a woman. There's never a female Grim Reaper, okay?
No, you think of
skeleton guy.
Monty Python, Meaning of Life. It was the salmon moose.
Skeleton guy,
Deep
long
voice,
black robe with a hood, sandals, Tevas, maybe. I don't realize there was sickle for sure. That's our outdated version of the Grim Reaper. What if the Grim Reaper is this guy at a Walmart?
Just this dude.
Camouflage shorts, black arrow shirt, mask. What if it black
short cropped
sneakers?
hair, black sneakers? Hey,
right? He hugs you and tells you that you're going to die.
So it's kind of nice for a second.
He can't do it to cancer survivors, but only to people who won't wear masks in stores. This is it.
It's a good flip on this dude.
I'm on board for this guy if that's his job.
Unfortunately,
he could even get paid for it.
Right.
Because the truth is, if he does give those people COVID, if he does actually follow through and give those people COVID, he'd be earning his money.
Kind of.
Because they're not coming to the store again.
Yeah. It's a good way to keep people away.
Can't shop at Walmart on a ventilator.
And it's a good message to send to other people who are like, I don't need to wear a mask.
Okay. You're taking your own life into it. You could get hugged.
You might get hugged by the hugger.
You might get hugged.
The hug reaper might hug you.
The hug reaper might come and get you. All right.
And the rhythm is going to get you.
That is the show. That's how we do it, guys. Thank you so much. Love that you're with us. Rate and review this show, please. Stay protected. Stay connected. Don't get infected. We love you guys. This is not a hoax.
But we've got the jokes.
Please wear a mask. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da.